This video is going to be on how to install and uninstall software on Ubuntu. The first couple things are Ubuntu Software Center, Synaptic Package Manager, and Update Manager. Okay, Update Manager. Think of it as Windows Update only for the entire computer. If you're on Windows and there's a Adobe Flash update, you have to wait for Adobe to tell you there's an update, or you have to let yet another application load when Windows loads, so it can take the time to start up, take the bandwidth for itself, and then notify you there's an update. And then there's many applications in Windows we never know if it's updated. That is technically a security risk. Well, in Ubuntu, if you load anything from the Synaptic Package Manager, it will automatically monitor itself, check back with the repositories where it was originally installed from, and notify you of updates. This goes for anything you can install in there, from Office suites, Adobe Flash, Adobe Reader, Java, Audacity, Network Manager, Notepad type application, anything, even the operating system itself. Update Manager is just that. It's only for updates. I did an install without the updates being done at the same time. This is a 5-month-old installation disk I've used, so there's 289 updates. I know that sounds like a lot, but you have to remember the operating system and the applications are modularized. What it means is if you go to download GIMP on Windows, it's going to be like 20-40 megs. You download GIMP for Ubuntu and install it, it's like 2 megs. And that's because the libraries the GIMP uses are external from itself, which means when you install the GIMP, some of those libraries are already going to be on your computer. Some of them won't. On Windows, there's no dependency checking whatsoever. So when you download that application, you also have to bring along everything that application could possibly ever use, which means bloat, extra time downloading, extra space being taken up on your hard drive, essentially. And because of that, there's over 280 updates, 289 updates that have to be done. But because everything is modularized, it typically means each update is smaller. For 289 updates, I only have 294 megabytes worth of download. I think that's very acceptable for 5 months without doing updates. Also remember, this is not just the operating system. This is for utilities, security features, cups, print server, on and on and on. Everything that's built into the operating system, or you can install via these package managers. Ubuntu Software Center lets you choose from thousands of free applications available for Ubuntu. That's a little bit incorrect. It's not thousands, it's tens of thousands, and it is growing every day. If we go ahead and launch that, think of Ubuntu Software Center as the 50,000 foot view over top the city. You see very little details, but you can see the entire city, and you can get a very good idea of how things are working and what it does. This is a very pretty interface of how to install things. The best thing about this way is it's very easy to browse applications. As soon as you open it up, you're presented with a list of different types of applications. If we click on Internet applications, it's even subcategorized: chat, file sharing, mail, web browsers. Go and hit chat, and you can see there are some in here that people have probably heard of. Pigeon is listed in here. But these are very dynamic and different choices that a lot of them I really implore people to examine. Like they even have a messenger called AMSN that's compatible with the MSN chat window. A lot of things are in these choices. I really encourage you to just browse once in a while, see what you come across. If you go to the top right, you can actually do a search. So if you say to yourself, you know, this guy, he was talking about this application, I believe it was called Thunderbird. If you go ahead and just start typing, it will actively filter and search, and right there is Mozilla Thunderbird Mail and News. Click on more info. It's a lightweight mail news reader. There are add-ons directly been listed here, so you can easily customize the application you're going to install. When applicable, you can click on the picture and you can see what the interface is going to look like. This is a very dynamic way to search and find applications. And if you go ahead and click install, bam, Bob's your uncle, it's on your box. There's also a little drop-down list you can see provided by Ubuntu. So if you want to go with that software, that's optional. The partners who offer software for purchase, yes, you can pay for software. This list is going to really grow, I think, at a pretty phenomenal rate here in a couple months. And then there's independent, which is something I don't really understand why they have segmented, because there's only one choice here. But then there's installed software. This is the exact opposite. If you know you're never going to use Bluetooth ever, you just single click it and hit remove, and it's off of your computer forever. Very easy way to browse and find software. One of the things I want to show you here is software sources from the edit menu. This is the back end of how Ubuntu communicates with those repositories and how the update manager works and functions. First window, I encourage everybody to make sure these top 4 checkboxes are picked. This allows for the largest library of content available for your computer, and all these are very trusted sources. Proprietary drivers means closed source blobs of code that no one can see the internal workings of, but like your Wi-Fi driver might be proprietary, or the enhanced video driver might be. If you're only worried about things working and performance, I encourage you to check that box. Download from server for the US. If you click that and come to other, here's a little hidden thing. Select the best server. Go ahead and click that. It will take like 2, 3, 4 minutes, depending on your connection speed, of course. It will actively go to each one of these servers and poll it to figure out which one is the fastest server for you right now. So if you're at all concerned about speed of your downloads for this process, go ahead and pick a different server, or let it pick whichever one is best for you. Second tab, here's where these are the main sources of the listings of software that you see. There is an ad down here. What that is really for is you can add what's called PPAs most of the time is what it is. It's a personal repo set up by a developer or a assistant to developer, where, for instance, Mumble is available by default. Mumble in the base installation is version 1.2.2, I believe. Yeah, 1.2.2. But, you know, you went and you read, well, there's 1.3 out. I want 1.3. All you would have to do is go to that developer's website, find their PPA, and you basically click it in here. It's going to look something like this. The word deb, a web address, space maverick, space main, because it's just a server on the internet. You can go and add them, and then that software will be immediately available once you refresh your listing, which it will prompt you to do, in your Ubuntu Software Manager and Package Manager. Updates. Here's where you can say, well, I don't want pre-release software, or I do want pre-release software. The default is no pre-release and no unsupported. The only reason to really check these boxes is if you know there's something in those listings that you want. By default, important and recommended updates are what you get notifications for. You can check the frequency to how often it is updates. You can actually install security updates without confirmation, which some people do. I personally like to see the listing. It gives me a sense of control. The next tab is authentication. Some of these PPAs and some of these repositories want to ensure you have like secure connections back and forth, and you know where that you're connecting and they know who's connecting to them. I personally like it. It's a good thing. Last tab is stats. Unlike Windows, you really have no idea what information is being sent back to the mothership. Ubuntu, virtually everything in the operating system is human readable. You can see what's going on. If you check this box, it's going to send back to the makers of Ubuntu basic information. What do you have installed? What have you uninstalled? How long have you had it installed? They really just want to know how many people are using each piece of software so they know how much effort they should put into it. And this is the software center. Now the Synaptic Package Manager, if we were at the 50,000 foot view B4, this is like the 5,000 foot view. You can see when looking down on the city, the cracks in the street or the burnt out buildings, or you can see the detail on a statue much better. That's really what this is. This is a much more detailed, much more fine-grained way of looking at things you can put on your computer. With that said, it's not as visually appealing, I'll say. You can search by categories. There are some basic categories here. You can search for editors, email, graphics. Down here are buttons. You can check on the status, show me everything, show me only things installed, show me things only not installed. The origin, show me software that came from the multiverse kind of thing. Custom filters. Here's where you can see broken ones. This can be very helpful. If you're in the middle of doing an update and you have a severe failure, like a hard disk failure, a network card failure, power failure, something to that effect, sometimes those packages will get broken. If you come here, go to broken, they'll be listed right here with a little box next to them. You check that and say fix package, and voila, it's fixed. You can see upgradable applications. These are everything pending upgrades, and then there's search results if you do a search. If we go to repositories, you're going to notice this is the exact same window. Both of those front ends, Ubuntu Software Center and Synaptic Package Manager, are doing the exact same thing, and here's further proof. They both link back to this one filter of information and configuration. Same exact choices exist. So that's just an example. Now, if you want to install something in here, for instance, we want to install Adobe Reader. R-E-A-D-E-R. Hit enter. And we should be able to see it. I think I have to do a detailed search or search by package name. Sort by package name, I mean. Let's do an advanced search, which is just clicking on the search button. R-E-A-D-E-R. Let's do A-D-O-B-E. Hit enter. And I do not have it installed yet. I didn't do an update. But anytime you do a search, if you want to install something, there's a little box right next to it. You just click it and hit mark for installation. And it will tell you the dependencies that go along with it. You're never just installing the application. Applications always depend on other things, and they're spread out. So if I'm installing this package and it requires these 4 packages, and then tomorrow I go and install a package and they also need these 4 packages, there's no other additional changes needed because I already have them on the computer. This is to great benefit to the end user and to the developer. That means when there is a security flaw in one of these files, 1 million applications don't need to be updated. Only that one file and that one package needs to be updated to make sure things are secure. How everything is modularized, it's a benefit to you, the end user. And if you do want to install this, you go and hit mark. Now you can see it's in a different color. It's in green. go ahead and hit apply. It will tell you what is to be installed and what is to be unchanged. It will tell you the amount, because I have my update of 284 packages, and it will tell you the size of the package. You can even just download now. So Synaptic Package Manager is my personal choice to go ahead and install, but you can really use whichever one you want. I really implore everybody to just come in here, poke around, look around, install applications, uninstall applications, and to be honest, have fun. That's what this is all about.